All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Prashanth, the founder and CEO of Flume Internet. We are a last mile broadband business that serves both single family homes and multifamily with fiber to the home connectivity. I think one of the big trends of this conference has been figuring out connectivity as an amenity service for multifamily. And there's a lot of interesting regulation also coming down the pipe for this. So we'll get into some of those topics in this presentation. So state of fiber to the home in the US. One of the big things you may not know is in getting connectivity options to your building, it's actually pretty important what's happening outside of your building. The current challenge across the country is we keep investing a lot of money into fiber crossings that cross more and more homes. In the last 3 years, we've actually invested about $30 billion more dollars of incremental capital, and our fiber to the home penetration rate has not changed. It's still about 10 to 11% across the country, which puts us behind many other developing nations when you consider household density. Now, we believe that real estate has a big opportunity and a role to play in fixing this. Flume's aim is to be the largest fiber to the home ISP that builds in-building assets and data center assets, but does not own any city-level infrastructure. And so we partner on citywide open access networks, and we partner with existing commercial providers to bring fiber to your building. The fiber in metro areas that crosses most multifamily buildings has usually been run there for an enterprise, a cell site, or a school, often also by transportation utilities. And those are the networks that Flume taps into and then plugs in to the basement of your multifamily to provide service. Inside the property itself, we rarely do building-wide Wi-Fi. We know that's a very sort of popular trend. We generally over-cable fiber to each unit. And we serve one to multi-gig service, either building-wide or on an uptake retail basis. So why include broadband or fiber service in your amenity rent? Property owners have been doing this for a variety of other amenity-like services for a long time. And the largest reasons we hear around not doing it for connectivity are primarily the support. I don't want to be an IT call center for my residents. The accountability of the experience. I don't want my multifamily brand associated with a poor connectivity provider service. And then finally, in a lot of rent-controlled states, I can't just increase my rent due to billing, et cetera. And then finally, hey, I don't know if my building actually has the infrastructure capabilities to come plug in a bunch of new risers and access points everywhere. We believe that the solutions for a lot of these challenges have really morphed over the last 3 to 4 years. And our specific solution is to run building-wide fiber and over-cable fiber to MDU units. We come into the building with a completely passive deployment. And if you need public space Wi-Fi, we do deliver that via access points. However, the majority of the service is through multi-dwelling unit modems in each unit. Most of the technology, once it's pre-wired through your building, is self-accessible from the tenant. They can pick up a router from the lobby, plug it into any of the Ethernet jacks that are now live inside their building. We also offer a suite of telemetry and management software that lets you actually know what is in use in your unit and what you can bill for and what you're being billed for by Flume. The benefits of doing building-wide connectivity are pretty apparent today. Most renters, when they move into a rental, just want to be handed a gigabit internet password and know that all of their Ethernet units and jacks work. We do have a few buildings where we've tried building-wide Wi-Fi, and we see that being a popular option. However, most of our tenants and customers on the real estate side generally prefer that we run one to multi-gig fiber to each suite. The process itself, and there's I think, a plethora of other providers popping up offering similar solutions. The process is generally similar between most of the connectivity companies. We come survey your property, generally looking for riser and point of entry egress. And then we can schedule the installation after signing a right of entry and insurance paperwork. In addition to broadband connectivity, Flume is a managed service add-on provider. A lot of our systems power IP addresses and firewalls for other building management systems as well in an integrated package. The goal is to go to one person for all of your IT needs versus having a series of consultants and middlemen to suggest your connectivity for your building. A recent sample project, we connect fiber to the home. We had a developer in downtown LA who is developing a property. The big challenge in a lot of these urban areas that developers are finding is that the LTE connectivity is actually still quite bad. At this specific building, both tenants and our technicians run out of phone battery in almost an hour or 2 hours because there's not a lot of signal. And so we had to come in as a Wi-Fi solution. We have about 95% uptake. There are still a few tenants who can opt out and connect to a 5G plan or just opt out of home internet. However, the developer buys the package from us as a reduced rate and then plugs that in as a broadband amenity into the HOA fees. Flume is expanding our network very rapidly. We believe that we want to be a single one-stop shop for multifamily. There has been some recent press around the FCC looking into providing options to tenants around bulk and building-wide Wi-Fi connectivity. Our solution is that all of our bulk connectivity deals are opt-in, and we see about 97% or so uptake on a fiber to the home gigabit product. That's about 30 to 40% cheaper than the market rate. And so we think the FCC is really kind of going after the more expensive, insidious dual play cable bulk deals that are still legacy and around for the last 20 or 30 years. I'll end with this. I think most of the connectivity projects we see now from multifamily property owners have about 5 consultants on average in the middle. There's someone putting out the RFP. There are RFP firms making their own managed service providers and responding to them. We think that all of this is kind of further complicates the product and offering, and our goal is to be sort of this one-stop shop for most of your connectivity needs. So that's Flume Internet, and we think fiber to the home and broadband for multifamily specifically is a space that's changing pretty rapidly. So please feel free to meet any of our team or, meet any of our team or reach out to us at the conference. Thanks, everyone.